This project is called color emphasis. This is a more elaborate way to use the selection tool. This We're going to use a different, more powerful selection tool to kind of take out the color and use emphasis to show color. And this is an example of what it look like when you're finished. So we go to Canvas and get started here. So I'm just on home page. An easy way to get to all the assignments is actually to click on your to-do list. Okay, so anything you have not completed is still in your to-do list. So then you can click on this assignment, so color emphasis tutorial, and it takes you straight to that assignment there. Okay, so first off, we're going to actually click on this image here, and then we're going to click on the down arrow to download that. Okay, so we just download it. Now we can go back to our assignment. Again, this shows me an example of what it looked like. This video, I want you to watch it kind of like that I'm grading right now, as I want you to follow with it. Okay, so I'm just going to minimize everything. Now I'm going to open up Photoshop. So we're going to open up Adobe Creative Cloud. If you don't see Adobe up here, then let me know. Click open. It's a large program, so it'll take a minute to open. And basically, if there's anything that comes up to like trial version or have like a tutorial or something that tries to actually show you something to bin, you can close that stuff. Okay, just close everything out, and you want to actually open up what we just downloaded. Okay, so we're gonna actually navigate back to our downloads folder, and we open up the antique binge photo booth thing. Okay, so click open. Yes, and it's a large file, so it's just actually open. You can actually just um, take out this file. And again, I want to make sure that you actually have. Anytime I'm doing a video, so go into Workspace and choose. Sorry, here. Use Essentials as all the presets I'm going to use. Okay, so anything that you need to look at. Okay. I'm actually going to make this under my panel options. Down here, panel options. I'm going to make it large for this assignment to actually show you. Okay, so then click OK, and it shows you the panel options. Make it a little larger. Okay, so under we just use the selection tool up here, but we're going to use this more powerful selection tool called the Quick Selection tool. Yeah, so the Quick Selection tool. And what I'm going to do here is change the size of my selection. Okay, sorry, my side of my selection to maybe a little larger here. Okay, and then on this gray there. Okay, now actually start selecting that image, and it goes over it. It grabs stuff on basically what on using the different computer software to kind of actually grab things, and I just go over things, and I'm like, I want to basically just color over. I'm just dragging over everything, and so it does a pretty good job of actually finding the edge of things. Um, so you want to grab all this stuff, you want to grab the brick wall, and make sure and grab the edges here. So you should have everything selected. Now I'm going to have to zoom in. We learned how to zoom. My preferred way is actually use the Alt key and zoom them. Scroll the wheel on your mouse, so I can zoom into that a little bit. And I'll just scroll to my wheel to actually go down to this. Now I can actually just make my selection size a little bit smaller here, because this is a more intricate and more detailed selection. So I just keep going over that a little bit more. That was a pretty good jump here. What I'm going to do now is actually just go over everything. And I missed a little bit right here. And if it goes over too much, like for instance, if I go over this too much, if it grabs too much, that's fine. I can actually click on this subtract selection tool, and I just go over and just it subtracts it out. Okay, so I just want to have all the background selected, basically. Okay, so like this little bit right here. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, actually, add to my selection again. I'm just going to actually scroll over this and make sure that nothing really sticks out at me, because the better selection I make, the better result I'm getting. See, I missed a little bit right here. So again, I'm going to Alt and scroll the wheel on my mouse to zoom in, and then I'll just make that. I'm just going being real detailed with my selections. I'll make it smaller. So the bigger selection is when you're first starting out, just more general kind of selection, and it kind of like does some generative thing. It goes, it's the basic idea. So now I can actually scroll over for a minute. That looks pretty good. So just making sure I didn't miss any big things. So like I missed this section right here. So I need to kind of go over that real quick, and it finds the edge real quick. Just lost a little bit. Yeah, and you got this. And I'm gonna scroll out and just make sure everything is, you know, pretty good. I've gotten a little bit there, and so I just make the whole selection. Let's see, I missed a little bit. So right here, I can click on the subtract selection tool and make sure it has that. Okay. Now I can zoom out everything. Instead of actually holding this Alt key and scrolling the wheel on my mouse, what I can do is hit Control 0, and it goes to the fifth screen. So basically, the shortcuts right here. Any option there, it tells you the keyboard shortcuts. For like for zoom in, zoom out, we talked about Control plus and Control minus, or Control 0 is just what I did before. Okay. So now we're actually going to do this select and mask here. Okay. And so it starts with kind of like it's called the onion skin, I guess. So it's a little transparent there. You can toggle this to different kind of selections. I like this on black there. Make sure if I have any things I didn't select. So now I can add that to it. So I need to make my selection bigger again. And I need to go over these sections. And I need to have this selection here and take this out again. So it looks pretty good. So make sure I don't have anything. So like for instance, this right here, I have a little bit of white shown through. So I can minimize and drop that down my selection size, and then I can take that out. Okay, so I want to make sure everything is black inside here. Radius, it makes it smooth here. So maybe I can change that a little bit to maybe choose the 2 pixels right here. And then maybe the smooth, let's go to 2 pixels there. Feathered, so yeah, let's do 0.4. And the contrast, yeah, let's go to 5% right there. Okay, so like cleaning up the edge and making it not so sharp, it's making good selection there. Now I'm actually going to go to, this is very important, so click on output selections, and I want to scroll down, like this bar here, you want to scroll down, and make sure this output selection, I need to go to new layer with layer mask. That's really important. So click on new layer with layer mask and click OK. And so what it does, it creates a new layer here. Everything that's black is going to be hidden, and everything white is showing through. Okay. So I want to actually select on this, the photo booth that actually is at the top here. Okay, next to my little mask here. Now what I'm going to do is go to image up here, image adjustments, and then like all the way down to desaturate right here. And it's going to desaturate, it's going to take all the color out of the background. Okay, but now what I'm going to do is turn on this background. So this is all in color now, and so it's actually going to shine through the black area. So basically I've now had this color emphasis kind of on my phone booth. So now I've actually complete that, so I can go to File and Save As here, and I want to name it as maybe Photo Booth. I guess we can just name it Photo. That's fine. So you make sure to put it in your Downloads folder, click Save. Save As, you have to click OK, and then we need to go back to Canvas and turn it in. So we're going to Start Assignment here, and I'm going to click on Upload File and choose a file. Then I'm going to go to my Downloads folder. If I don't click on Downloads, then I can go to my photo that you saved, and then click on Open and Submit. And again, so make sure, just like the other assignment, you're not finished with the assignment until you see the confetti falling. So therefore, we finished the assignment. Thanks for watching.